Gute Laune YouTube, this is Klaus Adler. Welcome to my first podcast ever. I'm very glad that you tuned in and hope that I can satisfy your need for a little bit of entertainment here. This is my first podcast and the first video as well I'm posting on my new YouTube channel. This is something I wanted to do for a very long time. I have been traveling the world now since 4 years already, and I always wanted to create my own YouTube channel to share my stories, but I didn't know really what to do, how to start it, what could be interesting, what do I really like, what do I want to share. And yeah, this is it now. This is how I'm going to start. I really like podcasts, right? For me personally, it's a really nice form of entertainment. I listen mostly to Bill Burr's podcast. Yeah, that's an American comedian. But to other podcasts as well. I really like about them that you can listen to them wherever you are, right? Just taking a train or walking outside. And I think if the voice is pleasant and you like the person and you like the topics, then it's really comfortable. Yeah. And so I hope I satisfy you, my friends. So now you're thinking maybe, why did I take that name? Why is it Klaus Adler? Well, this is a joke that nobody ever found funny but me. So I keep doing it. I just keep doing it. I just push my way through it, even though nobody likes it. Now, Klaus is an anagram of my real first name. Now, this first podcast is going to be just for all my friends, so you all know my real name. But later, I don't want to have my real name on that YouTube channel. I think a pseudonym is quite a nice thing. And yeah, so it's just, you just take the letter. The anagram is just you take the letters, right, and you put it in a different order. And yeah, I always found that funny, but nobody else. So there you go. And Adler is just the German word for eagle. And that's a tattoo I have on my back. I got that tattoo done when I made up that plan about traveling the world. So it was for me kind of a tattoo that stands for freedom, for traveling, you know. So a young lad, I just wanted to have a tattoo and I wanted to have something meaningful. So yeah, very deep thinking, right? I know. Oh, very impressive, Klaus, very impressive. So what is it gonna be here, this YouTube channel? So I want to share all my stories. I want to share my projects. I have 3 different projects in mind. This is the first one here. This is the podcast, which is merely going to be about the experiences I have on my travels. So I can basically share whatever I want. I just talk about whatever I want, whatever I find interesting. And if you guys could get me some feedback on that, that would be sweet. Yeah. Log on to your YouTube channel, like, subscribe. That would be really sweet. Yeah, as it would show me that I'm not doing this just for myself, but maybe for other people as well. Maybe some of you find it interesting. I'm just gonna talk here about all the crazy things that happened to me on my travels. So funny stories, crazy stories, cultural differences, all that stuff that is very interesting to me. So hopefully it's interesting to you as well. I'm starting here with Japan. This is also very, very interesting, as it is so different to our Western culture. But I have been 1 year in Malta, I have been 2 years in Australia. I worked very different kinds of jobs, made very, very cool experiences. I had motorbike trips through whole Europe, and at the West Coast in Australia, also 2 big trips in my own van that I built up to be like a motorhome, you know, with a bed inside and everything. I went to America for nearly 2 months, lived in Las Vegas, did some really cool stuff there. Went to San Francisco for a bit and to Bangkok for a bit. And now I ended up in Japan. So I have heaps of stories to tell, right? I could start now and talk for a fucking month straight and I would not be done, right? I could still talk and talk and talk. I have enough stories to share for the rest of my life. So stick around, listen to it. You are the lucky ones that have found this awesome and legendary, soon to be legendary channel as the first ones, right? So you are basically very, very special for finding this beautiful channel first. Yes. Yes, you can consider yourself the chosen ones, all right? Because you know something that the rest of the world will know soon, but not yet, and that's why you are special. All right, enough, Lucas, enough. Start with the bloody podcast already. All right, enough humping my own horn here. Yeah, let's crack right into it. A little warning, a little disclaimer. Yeah, it's gonna be really messy. It's my first podcast. Yeah, the sound is not really nice. It's gonna be probably a lot of cutting in between, but bear with me here. I hope I'm gonna get better with the next few podcasts. Also, a little shout out to all my German friends. I'm sorry for that, but it's gonna stay in English just for my friends that are in other countries. So I hope you understand it. If you don't, switch it off and give it a like anyways. Subscribe anyways. I mean, who cares, right? It's for free. The first story right off the bat was an earthquake, right? So, as most of you might know or might not, there's never an earthquake in Germany. Right? That fucking never happens. All right. The only thing you have in Germany is the Autobahn. Right. That's where you can die. That's our highway in Germany. Or I don't know. Sometimes there's a flood, and we call that like a natural disaster. But that's it. You know. Like for you guys, that's a joke. Yeah. Right. For everybody in Australia with all the forest fires, or in America with the tornadoes or whatever typhoons. There's nothing like that in Germany, right? So I was sleeping in my bed like a little fairy, yeah, just having a beautiful dream of drinking sake and enjoying my life. And all of a sudden, the fucking building starts to swing. I mean, it literally started to swing, right? It was not shaking a little bit. The problem was as well, I was in the 9th floor, right? So here, I don't have to be an engineer to figure out, right? On the ground, it's gonna shake a little. If you're on the 9th floor, the fucking building swings. You know, you feel like you're on the swing. And yeah, it was like 3:30 in the morning. I woke up directly with sweat on my forehead, like, oh my god, we all gonna fucking die. Looked around me, a few other foreigners sitting in their beds straight up, looking around like a rabbit that you just found in the forest, you know, looking at you, or like a deer. And yeah, so I went to the elevator. Of course, it wasn't working anymore, so I ran downstairs. Yeah, the old guy that slept next to me, yeah, in the big dorm, yeah, in the hostel, that was a Japanese guy. He was the only one that stayed as long as I did there, or even longer. Cool guy, even though we couldn't understand each other, but we still had conversations. And an old Oji-chan, what they say here in Japan. And yeah, he just kept sleeping, man. He just switched from one side to another, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm having an awesome time here. Yeah, sweet. So I ran down the stairs to the reception. They smiled already at me. They always smile here, right? It's Japanese. They always smile. They're always nice. Alright, so I ran downstairs, looked at them in full panic mode, you know, like, oh my god, we all gonna fucking die. Like, nah, mate, chill out, you know, it's all good. You're gonna survive. It's a mild one. So yeah, it was a mild one. It was actually a mild one. I think it was a 5 point something. So for these people, yeah, that's mild. For me, that was yeah, a horror show. Since then, I had 3 more. Yeah, so 4 all in all. I'm here since 1.5 months, and I had already 4 earthquakes. That seems to be an absolute normal thing. They actually warn you in television. Yeah, so they switch on the TV, right? And there's a little sound. It's going like do, you know. And then the Oji-chan looked at me and said, "Earthquake, earthquake." I'm like, aha, yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And right after that, it started to shake again. I'm like, for real? That's a pretty good system, you know. So yeah, that was nuts. But yeah, seems to be not a problem for the Japanese. They don't bother. So the second story I wanted to tell you about was about the anime culture here, right? So whenever I thought of Japan, I knew, all right, this anime thing is quite a big thing here, right? So it's very popular, right? Everybody's watching it. It's not like in Europe or in America where if you have a comic, yeah, anything in television that is drawn is basically for kids, right? Sometimes a little bit adults watch it, but usually not. But here it's for adults. It's entertainment for adults as well. Some of these animes are brutal as fuck, so that's for sure not for kids or sexual as hell. So I knew that, but I didn't know to which extent. It's absolutely everywhere, right? It's everywhere. Wherever you look, you see the anime culture blooming here. So to give you some examples, I was just trying to get some ice cream. So I went to this ice cream store, and they had a big cardboard anime girl there. You know, it's just a big picture of an anime girl. They always have huge tits, huge eyes. They look like little children, and they have skirts on, right? So you get your ice cream, and you want some sauce on it, right? So you go to that little machine, and that little machine is underneath the skirt of that girl. And out of that little machine comes yellow sauce, yeah, like lemon sauce or something, you know. So and the girl, she's holding her skirt and is making that facial impression that you have when you really need to go peeing. And yeah, that's the point of it. That was quite shocking, but very interesting, right? So that little girl basically pees on your ice cream. Yeah, like, that's nuts. I don't know if that is a sexual thing or if it's just interesting. I guess it's sexual. But yeah, there you go. And also, I walk the streets, and you have a lot of advertisement here, just on trucks, just going through the streets. You know, some with speakers. I guess that's political stuff. I don't speak Japanese yet, so I can't really tell you. But a lot of little vans driving through the streets with speakers on top of them. But some of them have big pictures on them of some sort of anime. Uh, it's usually guys that look very feminine or little girls that look like really like children. And the craziest thing I've seen so far was a truck with a big statue of paper made of paper mache, and it was of course it was a little girl with her back kind of exposed, so she was laying on her belly on her front, and had of course a little skirt on, and yeah, the truck was just driving through the streets, pounding some music, and yeah, yeah, I guess the people try to look underneath the skirt or I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Not yet. I will. That's why I'm here, right? I'm not here to. Look, this is as well, right? Everything I tell you, this is for me. It's funny. I'm not here to say hooray to everything I see. Yeah, if I see something that I don't like it, I'm gonna say it as well. But I want to understand it, right? So far, I'm just sharing with you guys the story I'm seeing here, experiencing. So, but it goes further than that. They actually, my Japanese friend, I know her from Sydney. That's cool, right? The world is a village, and it's wonderful. And yeah, she helped me a lot here. She showed me all around the city and helped me to get a bank account and all that. That's another fucking story for another day. That was fucking nuts. It was so annoying. It was unbelievable. The Japanese are more anal than the Germans, and that is really not that easy. And but it's a different story. So, and she told me, yeah, that actually some guys here have virtual girlfriends. So they fall in love with one of these anime girls from one of their favorite series, and yeah, they tend to treat that like a real relationship. You know, they buy them flowers or gifts, and when the show comes on, they pretend it's their girlfriend on that show. You know, and like Jesus Christ. I don't know if I find that funny or sad. But as I don't understand it so far, I'm not gonna judge. Well, funny it is for sure. Yeah, and she told me that sometimes they have big shows on the big screens here in Shinjuku and Shibuya. You might know that Shinjuku, Shibuya. That's always when you see pictures of Japan and you see how crazy it is here, how many people and the big advertisements, you know, the big screens on the sides of the buildings, you know, the big crossing. That is usually Shinjuku or Shibuya. Shibuya is the center of tourism and of party, and Shinjuku is the busiest train station in the world. And every time there is a big show about it, you know, sometimes, you know, they promote one of these animes there on one of the big screens. They're standing some dudes around and cheering like super loud. They're just standing on the street and cheering whenever their anime comes on that big screen because it's their girlfriend. Jesus Christ. And yeah, and the girls that they try to imitate that. That is also something that seems very obvious. Everything here in Japan is designed to be kawaii. That's what they say. They say kawaii means cute. So while I'd say in Europe or in America, girls, yeah, they try to be sexy, hot, yeah. Especially now the big booty culture in America, yeah, everybody tries to have a fucking enormous ass. But here they wear skirts, little shirts. What is as well very popular is shirts that are too big, you know, kind of like a girl that is just at home and because it's a lazy Sunday and she's with her boyfriend, she just steals his shirt, you know, so it's a bit too big, and that is quite sexy to be honest. That is really really nice, and yeah, the skirts as well. But the guys do that as well, so this is a bit different compared to the Western culture. While I think if we would buy the same stuff, we'll probably buy two sizes smaller, just so it fits perfectly, you know. But here they buy it extra big. This is kind of the fashion here, you know. It's not too interesting. I don't want to talk too much about the fashion, but I think that's a part of that cute kawaii culture, you know. So it's too big for the little girls, so they look even smaller in it. Yeah, but the guys do it as well, right? So everybody here wants to be cute. Also the guys. These guys, they usually look like, yeah, like boys. I don't think they would be very. I mean, they're usually like good-looking guys, you know, but they would be probably not really attractive to Western girls because, yeah, I think at the moment in the Western culture, it's more like beards and yeah, trying to look very mature, right? Bit older. That seems to be that seems to be the thing at the moment in the Western culture, and here it's the opposite of it. The guys here, nobody's wearing a beard. Nobody is yeah, looking um, particularly mature. They try to look young. So that's it, guys. That's like 16 to 20 minutes. It's enough for today, for my first podcast ever. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm very happy I got this finally done. I wanted to do this for a long time. So the question that remains is, did you like it? Right? Give it a thumbs up. Give it a comment. Right? Comment underneath under the YouTube channel. If you can, log into your YouTube and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. That would be really sweet. I would be very happy about that. And see that you liked it and you want me to continue with it. It was actually a lot of fun. I like to do it. But yeah, there's actually much more work than you think. I had to cut out so many M's, and there's still so many of them in there. Jesus Christ, I stutter and mumble my way through that podcast. Here, listen to that bullshit. In the Western country, it's the same thing, Lucas. It's the same thing. But before I thought, Jesus. So yes, all right, let's wrap this up here real quick. I actually wanted to put some music in it as well, some sound effects, but it didn't work this time because of the program that I'm using. It's the first time I'm using that program, so I first got to figure out the different settings. I don't know, but I don't like that stuff. I'm not good at that, so you gotta have to put up with the quality I'm giving to you and love it anyway. Alright, I demand it as you are my friends, so you have to do it. Yeah, so as soon as I figure that out, it's gonna be a bit more entertaining, I hope. It's gonna be even better. I mean, this one was obviously nearly perfect, but the next one's gonna be the bomb, right? So yeah, but if you want to have something different in there, please tell me. Please let me know. Yeah, you want to have some music in it. Probably in the beginning and in the end, I'm gonna put a little track to fade in and fade out. But if you also maybe want some more funny stuff or maybe some more cultural stuff, maybe you want to know what I'm doing here, how I'm making a living, how I make my money, or yeah, anything, maybe some stories about my time in Las Vegas or my time in Sydney or Malta, let me know. If not, I'm just gonna continue with Japan, and as soon as I run out of stories here, I will give you some more stories about Australia. Shout out to all my friends. Thanks a lot for listening. I'm really happy that you tuned in, and have a wonderful day. Gute Laune. Peace out.